The Blisters and the Arlsdale, Chapter 2. That morning, the next day, Mike woke up with an evil, psychotic grin. "You're up to something, Mike, and I know it," said the jock. "Oh, I'm not doing anything," said Mike evilly. He went away. Meanwhile, at the yards, there were important shipments that day. As many shipments had to come in and out of the area. They were very important as side rods, boilers, and etc. And no, there was not a new engine being built and not any extra parts, but there was machinery going to be built to be used at a factory downtown at Arlsdale End. Anyway, as Blister 1 and 2 were shunting, Mike had pulled up behind some of the cars. Blister 1 was backing up, and Blister 2 was shunting on the other side of the area. Meanwhile, Bert was sitting in a shed, sleeping peacefully. He suddenly woke up as he heard a chugging noise. He looked over and saw Mike. Mike was carefully getting behind a car, and it was one of the cars that was close to a few of the other important cars. As Bert watched, wondering what Mike was doing, Mike suddenly bashed into the cars. They biffed into Blister 1, sending him and the cars off the rails. The cars tipped over, and Mike pulled away before anyone could see him. If only he had been unnoticed, for Bert had seen everything. With that, an hour later, the manager arrived. "I just can't believe you two. What have you done?" "Well, I must have backed up too hard. I can't believe this. And I'm a well man. But this is ridiculous. These machineries were very expensive, and they're going to be more expensive as they are dented, and I am going to have to pay for this. This is not what I expected from you two. I'm afraid you will be in the shed for the next month or so." But, sir, I'm sorry. I just can't have any more foul-ups." In the 2 minutes later, Rex pulled up. Blister 1 and Blister 2 were sitting on a siding with their fat faces sad. Bert had gone, as he was called to take a train, and he tried to tell what had happened, but he never got the chance. Rex pulled up to Blister 1 and 2. "I'm so sorry. I don't believe it was you two. It must have been something else. I just don't know what. With that, Rex pulled away. Blister 1 and Blister 2 sat there in silence. They were miserable as they were shunted by Frank into the shed. "I'm so sorry, Blister 1 and 2. I truly am so sorry." With that, Frank shunted them and went away. Soon there was a few days, but Bert had an accident down at the crossing. A stupid lorry had got on the track, and Bert had derailed, but luckily there was minimal damage. Now he had less of the chance than ever. As he pulled into the sheds, he was next to two engines. One was a blue engine like him, and the other was green like Rex, but they weren't tender engines. They were in fact, narrow gauge engines, but they were bigger than them, but they weren't as big as the standard gauge engines. "Hello," Bert said. He had never met the narrow gauge railway. He had seen the small track and thought it was just a display for something, maybe an experimental engine, but still the same. He never met them before. "What are you? Who are you?" "My name's Sir Handel." "And I'm Peter Sam." "What would you be doing here?" "I've been in a accident. I was not focusing." "Were you thinking about anything particular? Was it silly?" said Peter Sam. Oh no, it wasn't trying to be bad or silly. It's just one of my friends is in a terrible predicament. Well, two. There's two diesels called Blister 1 and 2, and I was sitting in a shed when I saw Mike purposely derail Blister 1 and some important machinery. Mike pulled away before anyone could see him, and then it just played out. Oh my goodness, that is not good. Yeah, we'll be getting out of the works. We'll be sure to tell the big engines, to tell Sir Topham Hatt, and, well, we'll tell the Thin Controller. The Thin Controller? Is that like the Fat Controller's cousin or something? Oh no, he's a complete different person. Anyway, goodbye. They had been fixed and puffed away. As Bert was fixed, he finally was able to tell the small manager, and he was furious. Before he could give Mike a tongue lashing, he was waiting at the station for him, but Mike never arrived. He waited and waited as the clock ticked, but Mike never arrived. He soon got Blister 1 and 2 out of the shed and apologized for his big misunderstanding. And with that, as they waited for Mike, Blister 1 and 2 were sent out to look for Mike.